You can ask any trader, do you think you made enough money on your last trade? I mean, really, do we ever? I'm going to show you a fatal mistake many Micro E-mini traders and other traders make. More importantly, I'm going to show you an alternative that I highly recommend. Don't worry, it's free, like everything else on the channel, and it may completely change the way you trade. In today's video, I'll show you exactly what to do, and then I recorded a live trade as an example that I will show to you. You can see the exact wording on the screen there, but I went to my AI, I use Gemini Pro, and asked it the question, in the United States, how many personal investors achieve a steady income flow for at least a year or more? And you see 62% of adults have some kind of stock investment, about 160 million people. But look down at the number one, active trading for income. Those attempting to replace a salary through active trading, stocks, options, and futures. The success rate for maintaining a steady profit over a year is estimated to be less than 1 to 3%. That's it. That means 97 to 99% don't make it. That's normal. And as my dear old mama used to say to me, baby, normal is just a setting on the dryer. Don't worry about it. I want to show you a letter I got almost 6 years ago when I started the channel here. It's from a guy, and I call the letter, Getting Killed and I Want It to Stop. He said, I'd spent a year studying markets, psychology, trading strategies, patterns. I'm just getting destroyed with every trade. I got to the point where I learned so much I just don't even know what I'm looking for anymore. I lost about $500 the last month. Literally no big wins at all for me. A few times I got stopped out early or didn't set a wide enough stop loss, took profits too early. I made all the mistakes. That thought keeps coming into my brain. I do not have confidence in anything in this trading anymore. I've spent hundreds and hundreds of hours back-testing, studying, books, videos. And he continues, I journal my trades and switch back to demo. After a losing streak, it seems so easy then. Maybe I'm just impatient. My only goal at this point is to gain confidence in something I know will work for the long term. Not trying to get rich quick, just want to stop the madness of jumping around with the classy rookie stuff and just gain mastery of even one setup. He says, I feel like I don't need to read any more books or watch any more charts or videos. It just doesn't do anything but confuse me more. Sorry for the rant, he says, but I just needed to get it off my chest. And then he asked me very sincerely, how can I get back on track? That's what today's video is really all about. You're going to have to find what works for you. If there was only one magic setup, people would be quitting their jobs en masse. That'd be the one secret that nobody could keep. I saw one the other morning, was a 30-something housewife. She had her beautiful little 2-year-old daughter with a pacifier in her mouth sitting in her mother's lap, while mom was very busily trading options. And the big giant thumbnails, I made $10,000 trading options this morning. Well, to quote Bart Simpson, holy cow, Batman, that's impressive. I want to contact that woman and see how anybody can sit still for an hour with a 2-year-old in their lap and make $10,000. Now, all I'm saying is I had a little trouble giving that lady the benefit of the doubt. A survey in 2024 revealed that 63% of households in the United States cannot cover an emergency expense for $500 without borrowing money or using credit cards. And even more astoundingly, 78% of our households are living paycheck to paycheck. For years, people have been taking part-time jobs to have a little extra money for vacation or holiday shopping or something. But nowadays, it's more a survival mechanism to have a side gig. You know, I'm still thinking about that lady, the one who made $10,000 with a 2-year-old in her lap. If I ever meet her, I'm going to say, hey, lady, could I borrow that baby for a couple of days? And today's trading tip is brought to you by the Book of Wisdom by Fat Tony. If you don't want to live your life on a hamster wheel, you've got to find yourself an edge. That's all I'm saying. This should make Fat Tony happy. I'm going to show you the probabilistic edge, the one I promised you. Now, when you hear a phrase like that, probabilistic edge, you probably cringe and feel a math lesson coming on. But there's two ways to do this. There's hard and there's easy. And I choose simple. Simple is always better. Here's the dilemma that virtually all traders must consider, but very few of them make the right choice. In the blue side, that's on the left of the page now, the trader's risking $25 to make a profit target of $25. Now, they'll balk at that, beginners will, because I don't want to risk 25 just to make 25. I came here to make some money. Well, the goal of all traders is exactly that, making money. On the red-orange side is the trader risking $25 and uses a target of $75, a ratio of 1 to 3, much higher. For full disclosure here, I have to remind you, these examples are hypothetical. There's no guarantee your actual trading results will match the math illustrations. Casinos and insurance companies have very high sampling rates and often achieve results close to the mathematical models. So I'm saying here there's no guarantees. Now let's compare the two. Over on the left in the blue, you'd have about a 60% win rate, and on the right, your win rate would only have to be about 34%. Now, the blue annually would be about $500 profit. That's trading one contract. And the annual profit on the 1 to 3 ratio is going to be up at $900. That's 80% more than the 500 uses the 1 to 1 ratio. Over in the red example on the right, you can see that it's 1 to 3 ratio. So just to break even, you make 1 out of every 3 trades and meet your target of $75. Okay, now it's time to talk about the elephant in the room. Over on the left side in the blue, you see the trail there is nice, smooth blue line upward. And 3 trades in a row losses are pretty rare, actually. You'd only have those around 4 times a year. Over on the 1 to 3 in the red, you see that trail up to $900 is not a straight line. Now over on the right, you're going to have roughly 1 3-trade losing streak a month for the entire year. And nothing says they can't all happen in the same week or same month. And that would be the end of a small account. In many cases, it's very stressful. With all the ups and downs of the red-orange jagged line there, it shakes your confidence. It makes you question how you're trading, your setups, and every decision you make. And that stress comes on top of the fact that you're a beginner. You don't have any experience yet, or very little maybe. That jagged line on the right there, that'll get you every time. Hesitation in trading is like stepping into quicksand. I want you to understand the numbers you see on the screen are theoretical math. It's not a guarantee they're going to work for you like magic. I'm just trying to get you in the ballpark so you can find a way to trade that doesn't put so much pressure on you. By the way, Mark Twain said one time, a man who has 1 foot in a bucket of fire and the other foot in a bucket of ice, on the average, is doing pretty well. In that letter I read at the beginning of this video, that poor guy was second-guessing everything he was doing all the time. You just won't last unless you learn how to trade and to enjoy it, have some fun. And, oh, there's the money, right? I hope you will join the thousands of people who have purchased and read my book that's an introduction to futures trading. Even if you know nothing at all about it, this is the book. It's a starting place to make learning faster and easier. Your consideration is really appreciated. Thank you. Remember to subscribe to the channel. We have over 185 videos, all free. And there's links in the description below this video to a free trade simulation program and lots of other free stuff. Every time you hit the like button, it tickles the old YouTube algorithm. It helps me get more views. It supports the channel. So if you want to see more videos like the one you saw today, help me out. Hit that like button, and I thank you. It's the people who blame themselves for not making any money in this kind of trading. They think it's a math class, and they're making mistake after mistake when they lose money. Well, that isn't true, because I tell you, the stats are 60% wins if you're good, and 40% Everybody is going to lose about 40% of all the trades they do. And not because they did anything wrong or didn't have a certain system or knowledge or something in a book or video. I keep my copy of The Art of War nearby. Somebody gave it to me decades ago. When I get stuck sometimes, I look in there for an idea. Every battle is won or lost before it begins. That's so true in trading. If you're trying to trade perfectly, you won't. I know it's hard when you lose a trade. You lose some money. But I'll tell you what's harder. Getting used to the idea that you can't trade without losing. So here's a depiction of the probabilistic edge in its most rudimentary form. I think everybody understands it's easier to hit the close target than the one farthest away. But what people don't get right away when they're beginning is that the fact when you master the 1-to-1 and get that 50 to 65% win rate, you're really changing the way you do things. And you do not go for the more difficult target in the distance. To make more money when you trade 1-to-1, simply go from one contract to two. And this way, everything you've been practicing and learning from your experience still applies. If you take the few weeks or few months that it takes to perfect your version of the 1-to-1 trade and then switch to 1-to-3, you're throwing away your talent, hard-learned lessons, and experience. If you've been trading the Micro Eminis for a while, you already know this, but for beginners, you may not, and this is an important point I wanted to bring up. Trading a 1-to-1 ratio and a 1-to-3 ratio are completely different characteristics. They're very different. You would think naturally, well, it's the same thing, but it isn't. That really good news I have for you now. It's on a 1-to-1 trade, whether you risk $25 to make $25, that you can never make more than $25. But that isn't true. A stop loss is not a static thing. It isn't fixed. You can change it during the trade. I do it often. If you're a regular on the channel, you see I do it in every trade practically. And it really works well. And I'm going to show you how that tasty trade mouse works right now. Okay, here's the trade where I made considerably more than the stop loss amount. You can see it's on the NASDAQ100. It trades at $2 a point. I entered the trade by shorting a contract because the market's going to go down, I think. You can see how the setup I'm using has everything you need on one screen, and you don't have to go back and forth and switch things around and make it more complicated than it actually is. What you're going to see happen next is me using the left mouse button and the Tasty Trade mouse to change my stop and lock in profits as the trade runs down in price, which is to my good luck. And it was just good luck. I had no idea how much I might make on this trade. I would like to make at least what I was risking, the $21. Watch. How much money I may or may not make. All I can do is very aggressively guard the money in my account, and you'll watch as I do that. I've got a $20 stop on this trade. I'm going to short one contract at about $20,650. Now, the secret weapon on this trade isn't a secret at all. I'm risking $21. That's 10.5 points there. Get my Tasty Trade mouse, and on the left mouse button, I hold it down and drag that box down so I can protect my profits that I already have in this trade. It's not much. I just locked in $5.50, but voila, what really happened just then? There's no more risk on the trade, not even 1 penny, because I used my stop loss aggressively. Now I'm having the Tasty Trade mouse drag it down one more time. The trade's unfolding pretty fast here. I locked in $31 at $26.34. And yet again, just a moment later, the trade's amazing. It's just going my way. Sometimes you get lucky. Now, when you do get lucky, you have to know, what do I do next? Well, I keep doing the same thing over and over again. I got my Tasty Trade mouse. I get that left mouse button and keep pulling that stop down as long as I can. Already, I'm a couple of minutes into the trade, about halfway here, and I'm up $44.50. If I get stopped out right now, I wouldn't care. Making $22 a minute isn't shabby. I'll take that. Now, if you're a beginner, it's going to take some practice before you have clarity and the fast action that you've seen during this trade, but you can do it. It's like the old swimming lesson. Sooner or later, you practice on the simulation trade first, but sooner or later, you got to jump in the deep end and get the rewards. Now, for you beginners, I want to point out what I just said may be the most important thing in this video. I'm doing the same thing over and over. You know what that means. You're going to be able to learn it. When you realize you can learn a thing, that's great motivation to put in the work to be able to learn how to do it. Two very important things. Trade selection above everything, the most important thing. Step number 2, the second most important thing, is knowing that I would not move my stop loss. And the maximum I could lose on this trade was $21, no matter what happens. Now, you're going to lose about 40% of your trades, so you have to develop that discipline. Now, trade selection takes even more discipline than not moving your stop order. When there's no wind, a sailor in the sailboat will still keep those sails hoisted and ready to go, preparation, so when the opportunity does come along, they're ready. You've seen me talk about it in many videos. The best win rate you're going to get over the long haul is about 6 out of 10. That means you're going to lose about 40% of your trades. Get ready for it. To stay motivated to learn this type of trading, you have to have very realistic expectations. And you see by the methodology I've used, it wasn't far from the highest mountaintop to the lowest valley. It was only $21. Worst case scenario. Okay, here we go. I get to go count the money now. $81 in about 4 minutes on this trade. Watch as I get stopped out here. And remember, the only perfect trade is the one that leaves you with more money in your account than when you first started. The rest really doesn't matter. There you go. Now you can rewind this last couple of minutes. I think it's about 3.5 minutes on the trade. And rewatch that and see what I did with the stop thing. If it's the first time you've seen this, you'll need to see it a couple of times to kind of get the hang of it. But the rest of you who are coming back to the channel, thank you. I hope everyone subscribes and hit that like button so you can see another video like or similar to this one. And that was a great fun trade, I got to tell you. And this video has some really essential information in it. So bookmark it if you want and watch it again. And if you have questions, just ask them in the forum down below the video on the channel. I'm Don Singletary. What great fun today. I'm glad you were here. I hope every day is a payday for you. And thank you.